Did you know Richard Simmons once turned an airline safety video into a full-on aerobics class? Yes, on a plane. Buckle up and grapevine to the exit, honey.
Hey, it's Emma, and I'm feeling high-key curious today. So let's talk about the sparkliest man to ever make lunges feel like a hug, Richard Simmons. Quick vibe check on who we're dealing with. Richard Simmons was the American fitness icon who made everyday people feel seen, not the shredded gym bro fantasy, the rest of us. His playlists were Motown and doo-wop, sweatbands were rhinestoned, and the message was, "You are welcome here." His hits included Sweatin' to the Oldies and The Richard Simmons Show in the early 80s, which actually won Emmys. He dressed like a disco ball, had a baby with candy cane shorts, and he somehow turned exercise into a group therapy slumber party, a total vibe.
Personal tea time. I first met Richard on my mom's VHS shelf. Picture little me peeking around the couch while my mom and her friends were in our living room, sweating, laughing, and clapping to Tutti Frutti. I was mortified. Like, why are adults doing jazz hands with a man in glitter shorts? Then one summer, our family watched his Air New Zealand safety video. Air New Zealand is the Kiwi airline, and we straight up practiced the safety routine in our hallway before a flight. I was 13, I wanted the floor to eat me. But I realized something. We were moving, smiling, together. Nobody was judging, we were just happy. That little seed cracked open for me. 'Cause full disclosure, I used to avoid exercising in public. Gym class gave me anxiety, I was the queen of fake notes. Then here comes Richard, shouting about self-acceptance and portion sizes, not punishment. It clicked, fitness could be fun, private, mine. I still love a good dancey walk around the block with a retro playlist. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's move on. Who was this man under the sequins? Think of Richard as the Willy Wonka of aerobics. He built a candy-colored factory where movement felt like magic, and everyone got a golden ticket. Born in New Orleans in the late 40s and raised in the French Quarter, he struggled with weight as a kid, and that sting of stigma never left him. By the 70s, he landed in Los Angeles, saw most studios cater to people who were already fit, and went, nope. He opened the Anatomy Asylum. Yes, a gym with a salad bar inside called Rough Age, which later became Slimmons, his welcoming, low-impact, wildly supportive studio for decades. Career highlights: lightning round. TV in the early 80s with The Richard Simmons Show, those Emmys were not a fluke. In the late 80s, Sweatin' to the Oldies sold like crazy because it came with bups and people who look like us. In the 2000s, he hosted Lighten Up on Sirius Satellite Radio. In 2011, the Air New Zealand safety video went viral because of course it did. Across the decades, he kept stressing portion control, joy, and accessibility. Standing, seated, toning, walking, he made it work for different bodies and abilities. Important people and turning points. He sold pralines as a kid at Leah's in New Orleans. Customer service meets performance. Kismet. He even popped up as a background character in Fellini films in the late 60s. Fellini, the legendary Italian filmmaker, adored surreal spectacle. Kind of perfect for Richard's campy DNA. In Beverly Hills, he opened Slimmons and taught weekly for years. And he did something almost no celebrity does. He personally answered letters, emails, and made phone calls to fans. Hundreds weekly. By 2010, he estimated he had helped people lose about 12 million pounds. I believe it. He also faced some rough moments. David Letterman, the late-night host famous for pranks, blasted him with a fire extinguisher on air around 2000. It triggered a serious asthma attack. He stayed away for years. He took it with humor publicly, but let's be real. Imagine getting mocked for your kindness, then literally struggling to breathe. Big yikes. Still, he was an advocate. In the mid-2000s, he pushed for non-competitive PE in schools, more movement, less humiliation. He lobbied in D.C., did PBS specials. He showed up. That's the through line. Show up, cheer loud, remove shame. Now, the big unanswered question: why did he vanish from public life in 2014? The rumor mill was a fever dream, hostage stories, wild tabloid claims. Quick receipts: he denied the hostage stuff in interviews. The LAPD did a welfare check and said he was fine. In 2017, he sued tabloids for defamation over gender transition claims and said flat out it wasn't true. He lost the case on legal grounds, which is about defamation law, not proof. Later, he sued over an alleged tracking device on his car. An appellate court in 2020 let that case move forward. So surveillance and speculation were very real pressures. My take: he built the most intimate parasocial relationship maybe ever, calling strangers, handwriting notes, hugging people in malls. Then the internet turned up the volume to 11. Privacy wasn't just a boundary, it was survival. Health mattered too. People close to him mentioned knee issues, and he publicly said he was happy and living the life he chose. I think both can be true. Bodies change, the spotlight can be a no-go, and choosing peace is not an epic fail. It's a flex. Let's talk legacy and the last chapter. In 2020, when we were all stuck at home, his YouTube channel dropped archival workouts and people went nuts. It was a lifeline for folks intimidated by hardcore fitness trends. Then, in 2024, on his birthday, he was doing interviews again, joking he'd put a candle in a zucchini because he was vegetarian and maybe let himself have one Milano cookie, portion control with a wink. He even said he was working on a Broadway musical with Patrick Leonard, the composer known for collaborating with Madonna, and hinted at a big interview with Diane Sawyer. It sounded like a carefully planned glow-up of his narrative on his terms. Then, shockingly, he died in 2024 at 76. Early reports said natural causes. Later, the coroner tied it to complications from a fall that happened days before, with heart disease contributing. It's devastating. And it's also a reminder that falls are a serious risk as we age, even for someone who taught us to move with joy. The memorial details were very Richard. He was buried in his trademark workout outfit. His brother Lenny, that's Leonard Jr., joked about helping the Saints get in shape. New Orleans held a public mass. Hundreds showed up. Because the man wasn't just a meme, he was community, hope made campy and loud. And pop culture stamped him forever. Saturday Night Live parodied him. He popped up as himself on General Hospital. He did animated voice work on Rocko's Modern Life and later Fishhooks. And he even did an ESPN Sports Air ad as a, quote, conditioning coach. Flawless satire. He was everywhere because he understood the assignment. Use humor to lower the bar to entry and then get people moving. Before we wrap, let me say this. We've had decades of fitness that sells shame. Richard sold sparkle. He told beginners, older folks, people with mobility challenges, you belong on this damn dance floor. That inclusivity changed lives. If I had to put his legacy in one sentence, he made sweating feel like self-respect, not self-loathing. Okay, pause, because this next part is everything. Next time, we're diving into the Jane Fonda workout phenomenon. Jane Fonda is the Oscar-winning actor turned fitness mogul whose tapes ruled the 80s and rewired living rooms worldwide. The rivalry, the politics, the leg warmers, it's a whole saga.
So, that's the tea, folks. Remember, life is like a Richard Simmons workout filled with sweat and sparkle. Be kind to your body, call your mom, and if you see a grapevine, join it. Later.